Okay, I am going to, over an extended period of time, go into layers of demystifying Strobist photography. I said really 85% or more of professional photography is Strobist photography. It's an undeniable fact. Gotta get yourself a good Speedlight, preferably one that's TTL, of course, for obvious logical reasons. One of the most intimidating things about Strobist photography is that people have a hard enough time figuring out how they can create good photographs with the camera alone. And then you add the seemingly complex element of a Speedlight in, and people just, they twitch and drool like, someone with some sort of mental collapse. Some simple premises of Speedlight photography. And I know these suckers are intimidating. If anybody's actually picked up an expensive Speedlight and they look at the menu system and see how intricate they are, they go, oh my god, oh, I think I'll just use the pop-up flash on my camera. And I understand it's intimidating, but it shouldn't be. It really isn't. Now, the really important thing is that you need to understand, and nobody talks about this, is that, let me take the Velcro off my most handy invention in the world that I created, which of course is a fiber optic addition to this Speedlight. Nobody talks about is that ultimately these incredibly complex devices, the menus and submenus and everything else is geared towards adding multiple Speedlights to trigger at the same time or in a specific order, or for stroboscopic Speedlight work, and everything else is really manual. I mean, it's like every camera, no matter how complicated they make the shit. It's like, oh, that camera's got 1,000,000 buttons on it. Yeah, well, you know what? Ultimately, it's got a friggin' ISO dial, it's got a friggin' shutter speed dial, and it's got a friggin' aperture, and it's all the same shit. Everything else is frou-frou. And that really is the case with Speedlights. By the way, like I said, this is the most handy tool that I have in the whole world. It is more versatile than a Swiss Army knife. I mean, I can do so much shit with this thing, and I can't believe I came up with it and no one else. Now, if someone out there creates this thing and tries to sell it, I'll sue you. Yeah, I'm being serious on that. So complicated. They turn on the back of a Speedlight and they go, oh my god, there's manual and repeat and TTL and TTL-BL and A, and oh my god, and they just have a brain fart. And then you got a diffuser and a reflector card. It's all really simple, okay? It's about layering light. And the simplest way to think about it is that your camera is exposing for the background, and this is exposing for your subject. Everything else you need to concern yourself with is the angle of interception. Most important thing, obviously, too, the law of Speedlight photography, or Strobist photography. Law number 1 is get your damn Speedlight off your damn camera. Because I know you see photojournalists out there taking pictures of Britney Spears' crotch and everything else, and they're like, they've all got their Speedlight mounted on the top of their camera. Okay, that's photojournalistic work or news work. You know, it's about getting the picture. It's not about it being awesome. So get your Speedlight off your damn camera. That's rule number 1. You got to get a flash cable or a decent set of remote triggers. Buy at least one decent set of remote triggers. Now, I know these little pocket wizards are expensive. You want to buy the cheap Chinese ones? That's fine. I mean, they'll croak and drool on themselves in about a year or two. But they're cheap, so who gives a damn? That's a viable option also. So get an SC29 flash cable at least, or SC28 flash cable. That way you can do TTL photography off the camera. Okay, you can sit there with your camera, you can stick your Speedlight in your pocket or your purse, depending whether you're a guy or a chick, whatever the hell you want, and then use it to eliminate your subject off the camera. Number 2. You need to start to see and learn what incident flash angle does and how different flash angles can radically change the composition and the mood. And it will become intuitive. I mean, after you screw up and screw around you know, for a week or so, you'll learn. You'll know me. When I get this at this angle, I'm going to get this mood, this angle of lighting. If I do this, it's going to highlight those grooves in the subject. You'll really learn fast. And you understand, like I said, that 85% of the really awesome crap professional photography is Strobist work, is flash photography. And that becoming really good at it is nowhere near as hard as you think it is, especially if you learn some simple techniques that I'm going to teach you in upcoming videos about layering light, and it's not that difficult. Oh my god, I haven't had enough time exposing shots the right way to begin with. Now I got to learn about the second layer of light, not just what my camera does with shutter speed and aperture and ISO, but now I have to learn about a different set of exposure from speedlight photography for my subject illumination, and it's not that hard. If you really want to make it hard, it can definitely get hard, and you can get into commercial work, but you're not getting into that. You're just learning how to take good portraitures and good macro and other good fill flash illumination, and it's not going to be anywhere near as hard as you think. Like I said, you need to invest in one good speed light at least to hope to God that you can, but if it's just a dumb light like an SP26 or SP28 or one of those Chinese suckers that drools on itself after a year and a half and croaks and goes tits, as the English say, tits up, then that's fine too. You invest in a couple of old cheap speed lights like secondary speed lights for fill flash, like background illumination. After you learn to layer light, you're going to feel more confident, and so not only you have your main light, your background, you're exposed with your camera, you're going to have a fill flash for your main subject, then you're going to go, well, I'm going to add a third layer of light, and I'm going to hook up another trigger, and this time I'm going to use it for back of subject illumination, or I'm going to use it for secondary fill flash. I'm going to stick a gel on it, make it look like sunset is falling on my model. You're going to want to start to do that because you're going to feel more confident and want to add a second layer of light. Like I said, your camera shutter is relegated to exposing backgrounds when using your speed light. So you're going to do a test shot, you're going to figure out what the perfect illumination is for that, and then you're going to set your secondary illumination for your main subject, which really is your primary light. Your secondary light, the first layer becomes your secondary layer, which is your background. And then you're going to figure out how to properly illuminate your subject. Even in manual mode, I mean, it's like how exact, precise do you have to be? Well, you're going to get a feel for it really fast. You really will. And there's nothing wrong with screwing up. I mean, you screw up, the best practice you'll have is screwing up for a couple days or a week or so. Complex and advanced speed lights are ultimately, at their very core, you know, really dumb, stupid-ass devices. You don't fear them. I mean, like I said, the menus on this thing are like a friggin' computer. But 95% of that is frou-frou and BS. I mean, ultimately it's about power intensity and duration. And the rest of it you can slowly learn. I'll get into that. But it's not as difficult as you think it is. I really do promise you that. Okay? So we'll be getting into that and we'll demystify it. Thanks. Bye.